Hey guys, Samu7 here, bringing you the first moto of HRL 2017 Season 3 Championship Series. This is going to be a huge championship series. We have, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we have 10 drivers here in this championship series. And in previous years of the HRL, I think the maximum we've had in the Champ Series is 8, and in general we've usually had like 6 or so. So having 10 is huge. That just shows how immense and how vast our gains in the turnout department have been. But anyways, we're getting to this first moto here. Hunter, Rebel in the front row. Who's going to get the jump? Here we go. Green flag. Hunter gets a great jump. Ump also following him along the inside. Rebel lost a little bit of time. It's almost like he was asleep right there. He lost a lot. 4 wide. Luke working his way around the inside. Cat and Blades in the middle and on the inside, and Slaunch stuck in the middle as well. And those three continue that 3 wide battle. Luke was able to get around it on the outside. It looks like that's because somebody on the inside was just cheesing it and kind of slowing down the inside, which is why I was able to make the outside work. And I'm not exactly sure who was doing that, but yes, someone's really slowing up the inside right now. I don't know if they don't have that line figured out yet. Maybe it was some people that were running a different line as opposed to the inside in the heats, and they're just trying it and they weren't really sure what to expect. I'm not exactly sure, but it definitely looked a little slow. Here's Blades trying to work his way around the outside. He's getting into that wall really hard because he was getting forced up. Now he's not, and he has a little bit more open ground. He's going to run a little bit more clean, and he's actually doing a nice job so far on the outside. Blades running that outside probably better than anyone else that I've seen on this track so far, doing a great job, at least I would think. As far as we see so far, he's just running amazing. Vulcan, Opix having a battle right there. Detail in last right now, not a great start for him. I was really looking for him to show up and perform well at this track, and I think he was too, so hopefully he can recover a little bit in this moto. Anyways, in the lead, Luke just took over second place from Ump, and Hunter is still in the lead. Rebel's in fourth, so your heat winners are in first and fourth. Your second place finishers from the heats are in second and third. So it looks like the heats are a pretty solid indicator of how you're going to perform at this track so far. Sometimes that's true, sometimes it's not. Sometimes the heat finishes don't correlate to the moto finishes at all. Sometimes they do. So at this race so far, it looks like they are. We have a nice 3-wide battle here between Blades, Cat, and Vulcan. I think I'm going to assume that's Blades on the outside because he was running the outside earlier, but it also could be Cat. Actually, I think it's Cat. Oh, no! Gets forced into the wall, goes down. My iPhone just went off, indicating that he crashed. That was a really unfortunate crash right there. And Luke trying to make a move on Hunter. Got forced down a little bit, got a little loose, and then recovered. Ended up getting some speed off it. Going to try to pass Hunter here, as Rebel's also trying to pass Ump. Both of them getting forced down, but both of them working their way around, and Rebel and Ump do a bit of a reach draft, and they take advantage of Hunter getting forced up, and they go in and they take second and third place. Hunter just lost 3 positions in 1 lap. That's catastrophic for him. He's going to have to work extremely hard now to try to work those positions back. He needs to get them back. He needs to gain them back. He needs to get back in the lead. I mean, getting a win for Hunter here would be huge, not only because it would be his first moto win, but it'd be huge just for championship series points. So he's definitely going to fight back for that lead. So you already see him. He's actually running pretty fast right now. Definitely gaining on Rebel at the moment. Rebel in third. Ump is actually settled back into second, so it's going to be between Luke and Ump right now, and they're catching up the lap traffic. I believe that lap traffic is Cat. Whoa! Hunter getting a little loose as Rebel went on Ump's inside trying to pass Ump, so that was just a bit of an interesting situation right there. Not really much Hunter could have done. And then Rebel forces Ump up the track. Ump up. Oh man, that's such a hard phrase to say. Okay, so Rebel has second now. Luke has first. Ump is going to try to hold on to that podium position, but Hunter's got his nose. Hunter's got his nose. He's forcing him down the track, but he's trying to get up there. Oh, that British lag might affect him a little bit. But no, he's still staying there. He's still doing what he can to try to get by him. But I mean, this is just a prime example of screen lag right now. There's no room being given at all, and Hunter's done with it. He's done with it. He's forcing Ump up the track. Oh, forces him up hard. Ump with an insane 2-wheel and an insane save as well. Wow, impressive by Ump right there. That was sick. Really loving the battles that we're seeing in this track with this little like Martinsville style that we have in this form of the track, this version of the track. It's very interesting because you have to make passes so aggressively, and you really have to force the issue, and you have to do it fast too. So we're going to see a lot of things like what just happened to Ump right there, like a lot of aggressive 2-wheels, a lot of aggressive passes, moves, battles. Really fun track to watch when people start to make moves here. And speaking of which, Rebel's actually gaining on Luke here. It looks like kind of a similar situation to the first heat. I don't know if Luke notices or not, but he's running the same line that Rebel started to lose some time at the end of that heat, and Rebel's running the same line that Luke used to gain time at the end of the heat. So it's really weird role reversal here of these two drivers. And yeah, Rebel's going to start to take that position, so Luke's just going to go high. He's going to go for the crossover, but he can't see Hunter at all in the bottom of the track. He just bounces off him and goes right back up the track, and then goes back down again for another crossover. And he's going to get the nose down on him too. He actually got a lot of momentum off that, and Hunter's forcing him way down the track, and Luke's going to have to force him way back up and back into the groove, and that probably just gained Luke tons of time on Rebel getting forced down like that. So it's going to work out for him, and not really going to work out for Hunter. Hunter's going to have to fight back yet again, losing position yet again, but he's going to have to go just get back on the grind and try to regain it again. And Luke's just making runs on that inside. It seems like when he actually sticks to that inside line that he knows, he's actually really fast right there. He just needs to actually stick to it. And it looks like he's running that middle to inside again, but I mean, he's actually getting away from Rebel this time, so I'm not really sure. Really weird line choice coming out of all the drivers in the top 3, and it looks like Luke's finally found his groove, and he's starting to get away. He's definitely found his groove, although he has some lap traffic, so that's going to help them catch back up a little bit. Hunter definitely gaining on Rebel, though. He's not losing anything. Ump's lost quite a bit at this point. That cheese definitely affected him plenty, and it's going to be very difficult for him to recover from that at this point. Hunter battling for second here on Rebel. He's also going to have to worry about Cat on the outside with the blue flag. But he's going to work it by clean. That was actually probably the cleanest pass in the top 3 that we've seen all race. Rebel's just going to settle back to the inside and start working back on Hunter, try to gain some time, and they're all both going to try to gain some time on Luke. They don't want to battle too hard with each other right now, because if they do, they're definitely going to lose Luke, especially with the fact that we're in the Champ Series and there is lap traffic. The lap traffic in the Champ Series, you can tell, is a lot more intelligent, a lot more experienced and seasoned than the lap traffic in the main series, just the regular season. That lap traffic definitely, you could see the inexperience in those drivers. These drivers, you can see the experience. You can see the fact that they've been there before, and you can see how courteous they are in blue flags. So you're not really going to see blue flag drivers play too big of a role in this race. And it's the Champ Series, baby. It's the best drivers, best of the best. You're going to have to actually do it. You're going to have to run the track well and catch up and make that pass. You're not going to have to rely on someone else doing the cheesing for you. You have to do it yourself, and that's what makes the Champ Series so much fun to watch and so interesting. Regular season's fun to watch and interesting because it's unpredictable as heck, but Champ Series is fun to watch and interesting because it's more predictable in a way, and you get to see some really good battles here in the Champ Series. Battles kind of get prevented in the regular season sometimes. Champ Series, you can really settle into a groove, get some good battles going. Speaking of which, here we have Luke lapping his Rockstar teammate Slaunch, who's in 5th. Slaunch not having a great run here. He's had some rough runs a few times at ovals this season, but I think he's figuring it out. He does have an oval win this season, although it was way back on the first one. It was at Barvo. And yeah, I think Slaunch is figuring it out. It's definitely going to take some time for him to really get into a groove in Halo 5 and ovals. I think on Reach, before he stopped racing it, he was really starting to figure out ovals, really starting to get into a groove. And in Halo 5, I think it might take him a few more races again for him to actually figure it out, but once he does, I'm sure he'll be lethal. He definitely shows the speed, shows the talent. Probably just needed a little more practice at this track. That was probably the case here. Probably just needed a little more practice. Here we have Detail, not having a great run, didn't have a great start, and it's just a hard time for him to recover, but he's doing his best. Tight battle here for second between Hunter and Rebel. Rebel working his way on the inside. Hunter trying to force the issues, trying to force him down. He doesn't want him to take over that position, but Rebel's saying, nah, dude, I got this. I got my nose under you. I'm going for it, and he takes it. Hunter's going to definitely going to try to work it back on him. Maybe, I thought Hunter was going to try to do a crossover there, but maybe he didn't have the line or something. Maybe it was some screen lag, because I thought he was for sure going to go for a crossover there, but didn't really go for it. Oh, but he actually gets a run on Rebel. Rebel goes up a little bit, and Hunter takes the position back, and then Rebel goes for another crossover. This second place battle is insane, but look at that. Look right in front of him. Slaunch is right there, a lap driver that's going down into the traffic a little bit, and now that he knows that they're there, he's going to go up. That could have shook up things pretty intensely, but it actually doesn't. Slaunch does a good job. As soon as he realizes that they're there, he moves to the outside and gets out of the way of the battle. Speaking of which, a great battle that we're having for second place here. This battle has just been lit all race. The only unfortunate thing for these two drivers is that they're definitely enjoying the crap out of this battle, but they got to realize this is not a battle for the lead. This is the battle for second, and it's just not really gonna, it's not really gonna do much for him. It's not gonna do much for him. Luke's out there in the lead, and he's got a huge lead, and they're gonna have to settle it up and go single wide if they're gonna catch up. But they've battled so immensely at this point that it's probably not gonna work, considering we only have like a minute left in this moto. So these guys are really just battling for second at this point, which is still going to be intense. I mean, at this point, they've already lost so much time, they might as well battle super hard for second. Every point in the Champ Series matters, especially when it's a point of position. You need every single salvage you can get. So we're going to see Rebel here working his way around on Hunter, trying to make some moves on the inside, not really able to do anything though. Even got some lap traffic there, so Rebel might actually make a run for it here. Yeah, there he goes. He's going to the inside. Hunter's for sure going to force him down. Oh, and Rebel gets like a weird like bump almost, loses a lot of time, and yeah, Hunter's probably going to lock up the second place position. But here we go back to Luke. Luke in the lead, had a pretty solid moto. He actually had to fight for this lead pretty hard in the middle of it, but once he got away in the lead and in front of Rebel and Hunter, he's able to just let them duke it out and get away from that battle, and that's partially why he got such a huge lead. Those two drivers for second were just duking it out so hard the entire moto. But regardless, still has a solid lead here coming around for the final laps here. I think there's 2 laps to go. That time by as the timer hit. So here we come. Coming around the track, turn 4, white flag, last lap. Can Luke, the regular season champion, take the first moto win here at Grizzly Raceway in the Champ Series? It's looking so. It's going to be a clean lap. Checkered flag. Luke takes the win. Who's going to take second, though? Hunter takes second. Rebel takes third. And the other drivers are laps down. I think they lapped up to 4th place. So it's going to take a while for the rest of those drivers. I think that was 4th right there. Yep, Ump, and then 5th, Slunch. So there you see the results on the screen. Great moto right there out of those guys. Really entertaining, really fun to watch. Definitely looking forward to the second moto, and I hope you guys are too. And we're going to go to the podium shot here. Here's your podium shot. Hope you guys enjoyed this race, and see you for the next one of the Champ Series.